We're on. Good evening, fellow seekers of happiness, because we're all on a path. Everybody's a seeker of happiness, a seeker of happiness. Maybe we should start again. But no, I shan't. Yes, yesterday we were talking about, amongst other things, the myth of soulmates. So I'm going to kind of, and how to be happy on your own, this segment of episodes is soulmates. Right, I'm going to define soulmates because it's a nice poetic term, and I found my soulmate. You found a soulmate if you use this definition. Right, so again, if you take 100 people, let's say you got you got somebody who, it's the tomatoes thing, yeah? Pajamas, well, anyway. This end you got a tomato person, this end you got a pineapple person, not even a tomato person. The tomato part is somewhere in the middle. So what you've got is somebody in a soulmate who, let's rewind a bit. There are two kinds of soulmates. There are those who are your best friends. You resonate with them, and the best thing I'm going to do is, if you should know what a tuning fork is. So if you don't, Google it and find a sort of visual demonstration. They are used to tune pianos. So you hit the tuning fork and it vibrates, and then you put it on the piano string and you tighten the piano string until it also vibrates at the same frequency. To me, that's what a soulmate is. It's somebody who vibes with you. So you've got a lot of the same emotional responses to various things. It doesn't have to be 100% the same, and quite frankly that would be scary if it were. I think that the best kind of a match is somebody who's about 80 to 85, maybe up to 90%, but by then you're pretty much getting cloned, and that's not always good unless you happen to be a totally narcissistic person, and depend on how dangerous you are, because if you're the wrong kind of power hungry narcissist, then being with another one, they will clash with you. You'd be fighting all the time, so by definition you would be not soulmates, you'd be fighting. So yeah, you've got somebody who sees the world, they've got the same attitude towards various political issues as you. We'll drag religion into this for once. They've got the same kind of religious values as you, or at least you can tolerate each other. You're both easygoing, or you're both edgy, or you like the same sort of music, the same sort of programs, but with some differences. But most of the time there's harmony there. I call this resonating. And there's a lot of people like that. Now, if you get romance thrown in there as well, and you are sexually compatible, as well as romantically compatible, there's a lot of compatibility going on here. In other words, you resonate romantically and sexually and on a friendly basis, then you found a soulmate. Is there only one on the planet for you? Well, if there is, it's a bit of a so-and-so, isn't it? Because the chances of you finding them are 1 in 8 billion. At the moment, it was 1 in 4 billion only 20 years ago, but the population's doubled since then, so you've got an even worse chance. However, if you accept that human beings by and large are quite the same, and we all need food, shelter, and, to quote my sainted mother-in-law, someone to love and care for them, then most of us are very, very similar. A novelist once said, human beings are about 90% the same, but it's the 10% difference that makes us all interesting and unique. Well, that 10% is where the 85% fits in. That's where you have the most opportunity for things going wrong or things going right. Now, I would contend that some people say I found my soulmate. That would be probably better odds than winning the lottery, or worse odds, I'm not sure. A bit like winning the lottery anyway. The reason most of us do not win the lottery is because we jump in with the first person. We don't ask fundamental questions. We put more thought into buying a house or buying a car or even buying a pair of shoes because we at least try them on and we walk up and down in them. And the same with clothes, an outfit, so top with jeans or whatever it is you're wearing, we try them on in the changing room, but people are, this person asked me out, I better go out with them, I better marry them, and vice versa. She said yes. Rather than actually asking some hard questions, going through, I know there's not a test, but at least maybe there ought to be an equivalent of, I said I'd return to it, the Briggs-Myers test, to find out whether or not you are going to have a happy life together. And this is a really, really crazy thing, because we make our choices in England and in the United States. But the cultures that I've encountered where the choices are made for you by your parents, it sounds like such a bad system to us. However, I worked with there must have been half a dozen of these guys that I had spoken to and was on very, very friendly terms with. And they were from India. They were programmers, very intelligent, very successful people. And 5 of them went home to meet their future brides for the first time. They didn't know of their existence prior to coming to England, and they'd been here 2 years. Their parents had done a lot of matchmaking, and I was thinking, keep your mouth shut, Roger, it's not your culture. But I saw a couple of them by chance in the street, and they were so lovey-dovey. Their parents knew their children's personalities and got together, and they found somebody who, because these were males, but the guys, they were in love with their wives after 2 years. You could tell when they spoke of them at work, they really thought they were beautiful, and they were really pleased with the personality matches that their parents had made. So, whereas, look at the divorce rate in Britain and in America. And the divorce rate is just the bit of the iceberg sticking up. How many marriages underneath are unhappy? So relationships, I'm convinced, are a major source of stress. And we kind of do it to ourselves because we kind of slide into them. We let them happen to us. Rather than, I don't know what the system would be. I mean, I can think of a few, but it would make me very unpopular. And one of which would be, take a personality test, and then go on some sort of course to make your personality more attractive. Learn how to listen, learn how to converse, learn how to be considerate, learn when it's not appropriate to be considerate. All these things are important elements in a relationship. That's my 2 pence worth. And yes, we'll continue with this. Okay, all right. 8:46. Let's finish, and like, subscribe, and all that other stuff if you find this useful, and we'll continue tomorrow.